South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world. Our gaming amenities include over 60 table games and over 2,600 of the most popular slot and video poker machines. We have penny slots, including the popular Buffalo games, and real machines like Wheel of Fortune, Triple Sevens, and Megabucks. If you prefer video poker, try Deuces Wild, Double Bonus, or a variety of multi-denomination games. Or try your hand at one of the most popular casino table games in the world, Blackjack. Don't let the game intimidate you. Blackjack, also known as 21, is both easy and fun. And our dealers are always happy to assist. And the best part? Blackjack always pays 3 to 2. Next, check out the roulette tables. Roulette is one of the easiest casino games to learn, and so much fun to play. It's a favorite of both beginners and seasoned players. In addition to blackjack and roulette, our casino pit features over 60 popular table games like Baccarat, Pai Gow Poker, 3-Card Poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Mississippi Stud. So get out of your room and come join in the fun.
And welcome back in, everybody, to Gaughan Racing. Special edition today. Some things don't change. We're still professionally unprofessional. We have the one-man band and back there today at the South Point studio. Mr. Motley, of course, to my left. But we have, I know we're on a two box.
We got 3 in the 2 box.
We got 3 on today.
We have 3 in a 3 box?
We have our good friend,
boxes? We don't have 3
Mr.
boxes.
Noah Gregson, visiting us today. So now it's a 3-wide shot, so you might need to get in a little for the 3-wide shot, but
I feel like I'm the outsider now. I'm the one that wasn't born in Las Vegas up here on the.
Yeah, I was just told. Let me take a little side note. I believe some little punk. A very good friend of mine, just was given a press conference, and I believe he was told the audience that I was. When was I born, Noah?
In the early 1900s.
In the early 1900s. And notice how he smiles when he says that.
You could have raced in the first race.
I could. Apparently, I could have. It's a good thing I like his mommy and daddy a lot. Otherwise, but nope. Noah, welcome on to Gaughan Racing. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is a show that Jeff and I were just sharing with you that we started about 7 years ago now. It's supposed to be a couple shows, and they weren't smart enough to get rid of us then, so we're still here. But every year, we used to actually have guests all the time, and then we got away from that.
Because we both talk too much.
We had to get rid of everybody else.
Finding out right now is he's hardly said anything.
Who came up with the name Gaughan Racing? Because until you just said it,
it was not.
That is a great name.
You really didn't catch that, huh?
Not when I read it, no. But when you just said it, I'm like, dang, that's
so. It was
really
actually
good.
Our first producer. What was that guy's name?
It was not me.
And no, it was our first producer, Sam. So was it? No, what was his name? I can't remember the guy's name.
Which one?
Rick Jaffe. Rick Jaffe.
We had Rick
was our
originally.
First producer. He came up with that name.
Yeah, and everybody thinks I named it. Just make sure we point out. I did not name the show. No.
Well, you got to take the credit and the glory.
I don't know if there's much glory to be had around here, except if we're talking
racing, and I'm chop liver over here.
Well, no, there is glory. See, every week we make 5 picks, Noah. So, and our 5 picks, it's like a sport. It's a sport. We basically are betting sports. Some of us are up almost 100 units on the year, which means that if you had been betting $1,000 per the 5 bets that I gave you, you'd be up $92,000. $94,000.
Can we talk about how I did last week? I got 4. I got 4 out of 5.
Even as my dad says, even a blind squirrel.
Have you even gotten 4 out of 5?
I believe I was 5 out of 5 once, but even a blind squirrel finds a nut. But let's talk about our good friend here, Mr. Gregson. Roval, we'll leave the Roval out. Let's just talk about overall things. Got new digs coming. Got a few races. Got to be a lot of melancholy going on at the Stewart-Haas shop right now. You know, it's tough. I mean, you're a team that is closing. You got Tony, you got Gene, you got the whole crew, but you already know what you're doing next year. And how is it on the Noah Gragson side of things with transitioning from old to new?
Well, there's obviously been some distractions, and there's been some highs and some lows this year, but as a race team of the number 10 team, speaking for everyone on the team, I feel like we're all rallying around each other really well right now. It's been a lot of fun to come into the season with a new group and come off strong with a top 10 finish in the Daytona 500. Came out to here in Vegas a couple weeks later, finished 6th, and things were rolling pretty well. Then we got the news about Stewart-Haas closing down at the end of the year, Stewart and Haas splitting ways, and that was a little bit distracting. We went through different flows, highs and lows, but you know, overall, if you would have asked me in May, I would have said the ship would be sinking right now at this point of the season.
And actually, you've run good. Chase has run well. Josh every once in a while has a good run here or there. So you know, it definitely is not. We look, we're a betting show, right? We talk about momentum. We talk about, you know, what it is to win, what it is, and we did say, hey, man, Stewart-Haas going to be rough. It hasn't been as rough near the end of the season. I mean, Chase dang near, you know, made it to the round of 8. So, I mean, not bad. You guys you've had some great runs, had some slow runs, but it's still been a decent season when you consider all the headaches you've been through.
Yeah, there's definitely been challenges, but I look at the memories that we've been able to make, the experience I've been able to gain on the racetrack and off the racetrack, and working with a new group of guys, learning from them and challenging myself personally. So there have been good moments. Probably the one that sticks out the most is finishing 3rd at Talladega. We had a shot at the win there, and just trying to become better each and every week. It's such a encouraging but discouraging sport at the same time. You've been behind the wheel. You know what it's like to race week in and week out.
Did you beat my best finish in that 62 car?
Yes. 5th.
And you know what?
What yours was 6th or 7th?
Forgot about that. That's right. He did beat
Were
me
you
by
6th
one.
or 7th?
I was 6th.
6th.
Yeah.
And I want to point
Fifth,
out,
baby.
I never saw the bottom of the race car when Noah was driving it.
You only saw mine briefly because I got it on because I had so much talent. I got it on the wheel.
Full barrel roll, baby.
Did I tell you how I got it on the wheels? You know how I did that?
How'd you do it?
Stuck my hand out the window like you did when you're a kid. Put a little English on it. Got it to land just right.
Yeah, okay.
Attaboy.
I'm sure we all believe that.
Attaboy.
No, one thing that we all three up here love is Las Vegas. We love this. And when you look around the NASCAR circuit, even over the last, you know, even 10, 15 years, there's drivers from all over the country, right? But in Las Vegas, we've had Kurt and Kyle. We've had Brendan. We've got you. We've got Riley Herbst. We've even had other guys that maybe didn't have quite the measure of success. Spencer Gallagher, Dylan Kwasniewski. Does that amaze you to look at this town and think that we have produced this level of NASCAR talent? And like, how did this happen?
It is wild to think. You know, growing up, watching Uncle Brennan and watching Kurt and Kyle, you know, they paved the way for us young racers in Las Vegas, going out to the bull ring. Did you ever race at the bull ring?
I did run the bull ring. I did run the bull ring a little bit.
But he did.
I got a win at the bull ring. Thank you.
You have a win at the bull
One
ring?
win at the bull ring.
With
What
Legends
division?
Cars or
One
what?
no late super late.
Super late? I
One
didn't
win.
know that. All right, sorry.
They disqualified the leader, and I finished second that night. I finished second. I got the W after a DQ.
Hey,
Okay,
they don't
Joey
ask
Logano.
how, they just ask how many.
Thank you very much.
20 years,
Joey
right?
Logano's in
So-
the playoffs from a DQ, so I don't think he's complaining about it.
That's right. That's
But
right.
well, and you know, I said this a long time ago. Because look, guys like Noah, guys like Riley, and there's kids right now, right? I mean, Chris Klein has kids in that Star Nursery car every week that bet one of those kids might be the next one we're talking about. But Vegas, it all started with building the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. When Richie and Ralph and that crew got together to build the Speedway, what year were you born?
98.
So that was the year
That
of
was
the
right
first
around
cup.
then,
That was
right?
the year of the first cup,
Cup
race.
race,
Track
yeah.
opened in 96, but the first cup race was in March of 98. What day is your birthday? What's your birthday?
July 15th. So I wasn't even born
You
yet.
were not even born when the first cup
So
race.
that to me is what gives guys like Noah they were born right when we built that track, right? Right when it started happening. I hit the right time.
Yeah, they don't remember a time when Las Vegas didn't have big time auto
Exactly.
racing.
So
Right.
they got to watch that. And then, you know what? Early on, you ended up with me out there. You ended up with both Kurt and Kyle with remember the Roush Gong show. Those are things that even I said back in the early 2000s, Vegas is, if you can get what we started, there's going to be kids, and you name another town. There is not another town in America that has as many drivers that have cup pedigree now as Las Vegas. We're bigger than Kannapolis. We're bigger than any of them. because of guys like Noah, you got Riley out there. You've had Dylan Kwasniewski. You had Alex Haas. You had Spencer Gallagher. You had me. You have him. You have both Busch brothers. We're a hotbed of racing now.
That's right. And really cutting your teeth at the bull ring or whatnot. For myself personally, I started Bandoleros when I was 13 years old. That might be considered late, but I feel like there's never too late. A lot of guys I race against now, they started 4, 5, 6 years old. But to be able to make my way up to the top levels of racing, I remember being a kid sitting in the pits at the bull ring and looking over at turns 1 and 2, just the banking from outside the track of the big track, the 1.5 mile track. And I'm like, man, that'd be so cool to just go through the tunnel one day. I've sat in the grandstands, but I thought, man, it'd be super cool to just go inside the track and look around and to be able to race on the high banks there. It's a lot of fun.
You want to know what I remember about him? It was 15 when his daddy sat in my office saying, okay, what do we got to do? And I still remember the day his dad came in because Troy Herbst was there 2 weeks earlier asking the same question. But it's amazing. Like he said, the Speedway is what gave someone like him there's a lot of short tracks.
Well, I'm going to ask both of you guys this question. You talked about being a kid and just wanting to go through the tunnel, and you would probably, I mean, the Speedway weren't there, but you still saw track races at big racetracks. Did you guys still get that pinch myself, I'm here, even when you've been racing for years and years and years? I mean, look, you've been doing this for a while now. I mean, you're still a young guy, but you've been doing this a while, and you race for years. But was it still like you standing out there on the morning of the Daytona 500 and say, holy smokes, I'm getting ready to race in Daytona 500? Or do you think you're going to retire one day and then that's when you say it?
If you lose that, don't do it. And Bill Russell gave me the best.
I like that, though. I love that.
Bill Russell gave me the best piece of advice of my life when I was a young man. Like the late, great Boston Celtic Bill Russell.
Right, yep.
He looked at me, Bill, people didn't know, he threw up before every basketball game. And he looked at me and said, the day you stop getting butterflies before a race, before your sport, is the day you need to quit. And I can tell you this. He replaced me in the beard car in 2021. That Talladega race in 2020, my last race, there was no fans in the stands. I walked out to that starting grid, and I felt absolutely nothing. And I went, I need to get the hell out of here. So the day you lose that.
Do you feel that? You feel like you still have that every race you get excited? Or
Yeah, it comes from being a fan of the sport, growing up watching it. I always try and put myself. I remember going to the merchandise haulers and getting die cast and trying to go to my first die cast I actually got was Brennan's number 62 South Point Road America win. And
that was your first one?
That was my first one. Oh God,
that's how old I am.
That was my first one. I thought he was going to at least say
Kodak
then.
or something.
So you kindergarten then, maybe? Kindergarten?
Stop.
That was second grade, I think.
So not far from kindergarten.
It's cool to, put yourself in the younger you shoe. I remember standing there, we were racing the quarter mile in the legend cars after the cup race on the front straightaway. This had to have been 2013, and we got hot passes to be able to go on pit road. Well, we weren't old enough, so we got kicked off pit road, so we just sneaked down to the next gate.
I hope I didn't.
And I remember right before the race, the feeling I got when Casey Kane signed my hot pass, and I still have it to this day. And now when I go to the racetrack, I'm in Casey's shoes now, and to be able to give that same feeling to a fan, whether it be a kid or somebody who's really passionate about the sport, that's why I do this, because I remember the feeling of getting my first autograph.
And I think that's the beauty of the sport.
And don't ever forget it, kiddo. Yeah. That's where it's special to be able to go out there, and that's making that kid's special day. Always remember that.
You still see Richard Petty do that.
Yep,
Richard
absolutely.
Petty still takes his time, sign every autograph.
Best autograph too. Yep. Noah, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Good luck this week. It's
big
Vegas.
Big week.
Your odds? How you think you're going to do?
Well,
you're going to bet on yourself to win? Always say yes. That answer is always say yes.
Am I allowed to? I don't know if I'm allowed to.
No, don't go there.
Always say yes. End it there, and we'll be back to talk about the odds when my buddy takes off out of the studio.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rockin' dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show. Every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grandview Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Welcome back into Gaughan Racing. Brendan Gaughan, Jeff Motley. No more Noah Gregson. I love that kid. His family has been such good friends with him for so long.
Yeah, I root for him so hard, and I'm just really hoping for some good results.
There's a reason why he was the guy that replaced me in the 62. It was what I wanted, and thank you to the Beard family for letting me do it. And really proud of what the kid has done. Hasn't been easy. No. Been through some turmoil, but you know what? Super proud of him. Super proud of the young man he is.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So.
But now we got to get back on track here, because we are not a SiriusXM show that does the talking to everybody. Right. We are the SiriusXM show that gives you the odds. So let's get into last week. Roval, oh my God. I guess, Jeff, we got to kick off the show with, first of all, we had 4 out, then we had 1 out and one in. So Bowman disqualified. Once again, not our show, right, to talk about.
Well, all I say, he was disqualified, but when the team says it's not appealing, then to me, there's no argument.
Well, and here's the thing. Where they lost the weight, God only knows, because they were legal before it goes. Weird things happen. Something fell off. If they could prove something fell off, they would have appealed. Maybe they can't prove it. Maybe they were, and here's one thing that I got to let you understand. NASCAR gives us a buffer, right? Speeding. When Martin Truex says, man, I can't believe we got caught speeding 0.01 miles an hour over. It is not 0.01 miles an hour.
It is
5.01. They give us a 5-mile-an-hour cushion, and as drivers, we push the limit. It's our fault. The team pushed the limit.
And I think Jeff Gordon said that. He goes, we pushed the limit, we pushed it too far, and that's why they didn't appeal.
We stepped on a crack, and that happens. But you know what? Hendrick still has 3 in. Winner, oh my God, what a hell of a job by Kyle Larson.
But look, we think he's the favorite to win. He should be the favorite to win this whole championship, because guess what? He's coming to Las Vegas this week, and we know he's won the last 2 races here. He is on a roll right now.
So if you had him to win last week, plus 600, he was one of the favorites. We already knew that. He was plus 180 versus Byron, which we both said, how the heck was he a plus line versus anybody? Top 3 was plus 180, not Byron. And that was about where it should be. Minus 120 when it comes to Byron. Group A was plus 250. Chevy, of course, was the minus 170.
Why we didn't touch that one?
Man, we both said, no. I said bet it.
Oh, you bet Toyota. Well, but you said bet it, but you're not going to get any return on your money.
But you're still going to win. Well, yeah. And so it did come true. Odds, his current odds are plus 200.
And that might be a good odd right now.
And you said it last week at plus 6, or I think he was plus 400 or 500. He was
plus 600 when the playoffs started.
Yes, and he was plus 4 or 5 last week.
Opening line, plus 600.
He is all the way down to 200. So not going to get that. Let's get to the top 10 real quick. Kyle Larson, of course, we said plus 600, 180. 350 for Christopher Bell. Good return for C-Bell on the top 5. Top 3. We talked about that. William Byron was a plus 220. So a lot of guys with some good returns right there. And then the playoff standings, look, down to 8, right? We got Alex Bowman out. We got Joey Logano in. So we're down to the short hairs now. You got the 2.5 miles, and then Martinsville. So you got 2 Penske cars with Blaney and Logano. You got 3 Hendrick cars with Larson and Byron. And
one amazing thing is we're not racing at any tracks where we expect somebody to have a big calamity, right?
No more crapshoots.
Correct. Kyle Larson is 33 points above the cut line. I mean, those wins, those playoff points.
Martin Truex Jr. had a bigger one.
Well, a blown engine could doom him because or a blown tire early in the race. But what I'm saying is having a 33-point cushion above the cut line.
Got to feel pretty good.
You feel going to a track you've won the last 2 races at.
Got to feel pretty good. And then, of course, to finish off the season here, we have our favorite word, Pete Pistone, homage. The penultimate round, yes,
of
the NASCAR
I was wondering
series.
How you were going to work penultimate in
I got
there.
a couple opportunities to do it. I'll work it in a lot.
We're like the old MRN guys. Remember, they used to have a word,
that
and whoever could work it into the broadcast first or something. Yeah.
So penultimate round, we got, of course, South Point 400. Then we go off to at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We go up to Homestead, Straight Talk Wireless 400, and then, of course, Martinsville, Calamity Corner, Xfinity 500 right there, and then the championship race at Phoenix, November 10th to end the season. So we're right here on the short hairs. Let's talk about Vegas real fast. The guys that are good here, Jeff. A lot of guys got some great numbers here. This could be a race. Is it old hat race? Is it new young face race? Odds say it's got a lot of old hats.
Well, it's a lot of old hats, but I tell you, there's a lot of Hendrick hats, too, including a big Hendrick hat when William Byron wins. But Kyle Larson, William Byron, even Alex Bowman, I mean, those guys have all been to victory lane in the last 3 or 4 years. Larson's won 2 in a row. He's won 3 out of 4. Right now, it's hard to bet against any of those Hendrick cars coming here. It's amazing to me Chase Elliott hasn't found victory lane.
Look at Kyle Larson, 12 top 10s, 8 top 5s, 16 races. This is a place that he just does so well at. You go all the way down. But how about Ryan Blaney, 10 top 10s and 16 races? I mean, that's pretty strong. No wins, though, for Blaney, but still a strong track for Blaney. And Blaney is the one right now that is sitting, right outside that cut line. He's 4 points out to start the round of the playoff round.
Well, and right outside the Hendrick cars are the Penske cars because now I know Blaney hasn't won in Vegas, but you look at Blaney's numbers. Joey Logano, 3 wins in Vegas. Brad Keselowski, driving for Penske, 3 wins in Vegas. So the Penske cars are just a notch right now below the Hendrick cars when it comes to Las Vegas, but throughout history, they've been right there.
Penske, this was a place, hell, I even qualified good in the Kodak car, which, if you knew, that was a minor miracle. Sorry.
We're not going there.
We're not going there. We are doing the abbreviated version of the second segment because we got a lot of catching up to.
We're doing a good job of catching up right now.
That's right. I'm talking a million miles an hour. Folks at Sirius XM are loving this, and behind the desk, one-man army in it saying, oh my God, you're changing slides a lot on the South Point Studio stream. So we're working hard.
It's on hyper speed or something.
God, a ludicrous speed. Stop. We can't stop. We got to slow down first. All right. What movie? Oh, come on. Spaceballs? You can't get a Spaceballs reference?
Spaceball? I never saw Spaceballs.
What?
Why would I watch Spaceballs?
How is nobody It's one of the greatest movies of all time. Any Mel Brooks movie is the greatest movie of all time.
It was a Mel Brooks did Spaceballs?
Oh, my God. All right, that's it. I'm firing Jeff. We bring Noah. We can start this all over.
He did High Anxiety, but I don't remember I've heard the name Spaceballs, but I don't really know anything about it.
Oh my God. I might quit. You know what? Sirius XM, I love you. Thank you. I'm signing off.
I didn't think guys born in 1900 watched
Please
Spaceballs.
tweet me at Brendan62 with hate mail for Jeff Motley not knowing Spaceballs. And Harley Roush, you'll be the first one I get a text from.
At
I expect
Jeff Motley LVMS. You can tweet at me.
At Jeff Motley LVMS.
I'll take
tweet
it.
both of us.
I'll take it.
There you go. Let's get to the odds to win. And no surprise, the guy you mentioned,
I'm
Jeff.
surprised there's a plus by his name. If you want
this
to know
this might be the first time you could put a minus next to a winner. The last 2 races won here by Kyle Larson. He is a massive favorite, plus 300. William Byron, Christopher Bell, 7s. Denny Hamlin, 800. Then Tyler Reddick, 10-1. Ryan Blaney there, 10-1. Chase Elliott, 16. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Ross Chastain round out the South Points odds to win on the first page at 18-1. Jeff, Tyler Reddick, they're not running great.
No, and I will give him credit. He drove his behind off to get himself into what
That's where I was just heading.
Ended up not necessarily needing it, but of course he didn't know that at the time of the race. But he did drive his butt off. But their program on these intermediate tracks since the playoffs started has not been what we saw during the regular season. So Reddick scares me here. I'll tell you what, I love a William Byron at plus 700. I think that's a really good number on a guy who is, really good here.
Last 10 mile-and-a-half races, average finish 7.9, eight top 10 finishes, 5 top 5s, and a win in the last 10 mile-and-a-halfs. And I'm going to look back. We talked Kansas.
I bet his Las Vegas and Motor Speedway record is pretty strong.
And too. Kansas is a track just like Vegas, just about.
Very similar.
Byron, second place at Kansas. He was third at Charlotte at the Coke 600. Third at Texas this year, was 10th at Vegas. That was his worst of the finishes. But at Las Vegas, he also is no slouch. So I do like the William Byron. I'm with you. The Tyler Reddick, they haven't shown that. They haven't shown what I want them to show yet.
I totally agree with you. And I think if you ask them, they would tell you that they've been missing a little something. So, yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, because I love Tyler Reddick. I'd love to see Tyler Reddick win this championship. I just think that team's got some work to do.
I'm a little mad he hasn't called me back yet, so that's a Sirius XM side note. So I would say that, except for Tyler hasn't called me back. Let's get to the second. We're not meeting people.
We're holding grudges here now.
We're biased. We're allowed to be biased. Come on, we just had Noah Gregson, a Vegas boy, in the room with us. Let's get the second page at South Point. We got Joey Logano 18-1, Ty Gibbs 20, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher 25, Bubba Wallace, Alex Bowman both at 40, Chase Briscoe 80, Noah Gregson, there's our guy, 80-1. And Daniel Suarez 100 with the field at 20-1. And right there, that Logano bet.
Logano 18-1. And look, what kind of a vengeance or attitude is Bowman coming out with this week?
Bowman coming out with a vengeance with a lot of, do I make another joke and have you not get it? Don't drive angry. Anyone? Bueller? Groundhog Day?
I watch Groundhog Day, and I don't recite movie quotes like some people. Like
listen, Earl Ross.
Like I know people who literally can recite every word to Airplane and Fletch in these movies.
That's me.
That's just never been my thing.
That's me.
My best buddy from college can do that. In fact, he named you'll appreciate this. You know my intramural basketball team was in college? Frida's Boss. Do you like that?
You probably didn't even know where that came from.
I did know where that came from. I had just watched Fletch when he came up with the name.
So Joey Logano, though, at Vegas, 5 top 5s, 2 wins, and 5 top 10s, 2 wins in the last 10 races at Vegas. This is a track for Joey. Here's 2 guys, a Bowman and a Joey. The 2 guys that just had their whole lives swapped around in the matter of 2 hours. And here's 2 guys that, they're 40-1 and 18-1.
These odds to me reflect the opinion of the people setting these odds that it's only the playoff guys and everybody's going to get out of their way. I don't see that. Keselowski, Buescher, Bubba, Gibbs, they're not getting out of anybody's way if they have a chance to win the race. And honestly, every one of those guys has a chance to win this race.
You ready for a stat between Joey and Alex on the last 10 mile-and-a-half racetracks? Average finish 15.2 and 17.5. They mirror each other. I mean,
so one's 40-1, one's 18-1. I'll take the 40-1.
I'll take the 40-1. And look, I think Bowman has something to prove, and so I think Hendrick probably has something to prove, trying to get them back out there, in this deal. So those are 2 great numbers. The field bet this week, though, Motley.
I
too many playoff guys. Too many. This is not a crapshoot anymore. There's no more crapshoot rounds. This is mile-and-a-half traditional. The field.
Yeah, I think we'll see a playoff driver most likely win all of the last 3 races, but you never know. I mean, Bowman wouldn't surprise me.
When we come back, we get top 3s, and we'll get caught up on Gaughan Racing.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake.
Welcome back in, Gaughan Racin. I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. I'm here with my buddy, but I'm my own best friend, Jeff Motley.
What movie was that from?
I'm just crushing you with Spaceballs for the rest of the show. You are getting Spaceballs crushed the rest of the show. I just still can't believe that you...
But you realize I never saw the movie, so they're just going right over my head.
Doesn't matter.
It just sounds to me like you're blabbering gibberish over there.
Right now, there are people, even on the South Point chat, that are making fun of you for not understanding.
They just said they knew your references. They're not making fun of me for not having watched Spaceballs.
In my opinion, they are absolutely making fun of you for not knowing Spaceballs. Barf.
Awkward silence.
Barf.
we have
top threes. You do know what Harley and I went to Halloween with a couple years ago.
I'm afraid that.
Harley was Barf. I was Lone Star. Tatum was Princess Vespa.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm too old for you guys.
Anyway.
I have less gray hair than you, but
his Schwartz is not as big as mine.
I wasn't born.
Let's go to the top threes right now. Let's get Sirius XM before we get fired.
I know, may the force be with you. I do know that one.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Well, yeah.
The Schwartz.
That's somebody.
I got the ring out of a Crack-a-Jack box. The odds to win are for top three, and we end up with a negative number.
There's my minus number.
There's your minus number. Kyle Larson, minus 113. Of course, Fat Boy walks in the studio and doesn't have his phone off, and he has his ringer going, which is why we don't normally let Fat Boy. Why we don't let Fat Boy in anywhere. Yeah. That's way to go. And all the NASCAR people on Sirius XM know Fat Boy, and so they can all crush him at the track this weekend. Kyle Larson is your favorite at minus 115. These, of course, DraftKings. Then you got William Byron plus 220, Seabell 250, Denny Hamlin with Tyler Reddick, and Joey Logano all 260, Ryan Blaney 3, Chase Elliott 350, Kyle Busch 4, Martin Truex Jr., Ross Chastain 450, Ty Gibbs 6, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski 8, and Chris Buescher at 850. Do we look at Kyle Busch yet again and start talking about him, Motley? Do we? I mean, it's Vegas. Do we say, he gets it done here? What say you?
I guess I'm kind of in the show me something first. I hate to say that because I really want him to win. I really do.
I would love 5 top 5s last 10 races here at Las Vegas. I mean,
and he's got to win. And it's been a while ago,
but 50% in the last 5. I mean, you look at his deals: third, fourth, third, 14th, third, 26th.
Well, one thing I'll tell you about Vegas too, it's interesting. If you go back and probably look at like the last 10 races in Vegas, and you look at the top 3 in every 10, there's usually somebody who creeps into that top 3 that you're like, wow,
where did that come from?
Where did that come from? They had a great run. It just tends to.
There is always a surprise. Would you call him a surprise? I don't know.
Right now, well, I don't. I mean,
right now, yes.
He should have won a couple weeks ago, and that was on a mile and a half, right?
So and that's where I'm going. Is he's been running so good at some places lately? Like, do you say maybe? I mean, think about Kansas, right? I mean, he was going to win Kansas until the wheels fell off, proverbially.
Pretty much.
So, I look at that and go, it might be worth a 400 on him. And then Ty Gibbs, he finished 5th at Kansas, was 5th and 2nd in the stages. He's been running pretty strong.
Well, I'm also on that back to the Alex Bowman. Plus 800. He doesn't have to win this. I mean, plus 800 is a pretty good return. Hendrick Carr, very motivated, and a former winner.
I don't dislike those numbers right there. Let's get to the second page of these, and we kick off with Chase Briscoe is the favorite there, second page favorite, 15-1. Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, both at 18. Noah Gragson, Shane Van Gisbergen racing this race? I didn't know that. Is 28-1. Josh Berry also 28-1. Eric Jones 28-1. Carson Hocevar, Austin Dillon all at 30. Zane Smith 40. Justin Haley 50. Ryan Preece 70 with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 70 with Michael McDougal 70. And then Harrison Burton 100 and Jimmy Johnson.
Oh my gosh. Why do they do? That's almost like, I mean, what are you just trying to put salt in a wound?
Really? I think because it's a name everybody recognizes, so they're going to put him up there. I could give you stats for Jimmy here, but I think that would be absolutely useless.
Well, I know because he in fact won 4 straight times.
That's what I mean. I could sit here and say, "Oh my God, Jimmy Johnson," but it doesn't.
He didn't even make our stat sheet. By the way,
yeah. Well, we don't really pull stats on him anymore.
But you know what guy on this list, and he has just literally surprised me over the last 10 races. How well he's done. Ryan Preece. The guy has been sneaky competitive over the last 10 races, and another guy, Zane Smith. Both of those 2 guys whose ride is going away at the end of the year.
Yeah, but do I look at them?
I don't know if they get a top 3.
At them for a top 3?
If I was betting top 10 and I could get about a 7-1 on a Ryan Preece for a top 10, that'd be good.
See, what I might look at is Chase Briscoe just got knocked out of the playoffs, right? Chase just now fresh out of it. He's got a top 5 here at Las Vegas in his history, and it just happens to be, that he's been good. He's been sneaky good. Sometimes we were talking about him. If he made it through the last round, he could be somebody we'd be looking at. But I go back to the Fords have not been as strong. And if I do talk about a Ford now, it's black. It's no longer RFK. It's Blaney and Logano that we're talking about. It's no longer Brad and Chris. So I don't know about Chase, but that's the only one on the second page that I look at and intrigues me, so to speak.
Yeah, and
for top 3.
And I probably wouldn't go for anybody on this page for a top 3. I think sometimes this fall race, it seems like it is the cream that rises.
It does.
Playoff guys.
It does, absolutely. And I mean, I'm trying to make a little chicken salad, so to speak, on the second page, but I don't see anybody from the second page being that surprise, honestly. I mean, like I said, maybe a Chase Briscoe. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, let's get to our head-to-heads. And this week, head-to-heads are
big numbers.
Super fun. I'm knocking the mic everywhere.
Big numbers.
And numbers on guys. You just talked about William Byron. Now, it's against the odds-on favorite, right?
You can bet against Kyle Larson at your own peril here.
Yeah, but a plus 150 for William Byron against Kyle Larson. I mean, yes, I get it, but it's a plus 150 in a head-to-head. That's a great number.
Well, I will tell you, there is one out here that I really.
There's a few out here that I like.
There's one that I really like. Who have I said is the strongest race team at Las Vegas these days? Hendrick Motorsports. Who is the driver who, as much as I like him, really has been struggling on these type racetracks lately?
Chase Elliott.
Well, I'm talking about Tyler Reddick.
Oh, Tyler.
And
yeah.
Chase Elliott,
struggling. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. And Chase Elliott is getting a plus 130 against Tyler Reddick. I love Chase Elliott plus 130 against Tyler Reddick.
Look, and at Vegas, remember, 2nd, 9th, pretty darn good at this place a couple times. Chase Elliott, lately on the mile and a half, maybe not quite as strong, but still. And you got Chase Elliott with a plus 140 to Denny Hamlin even out there.
Yeah, but Denny won here not long ago.
Denny won here not long ago, and he's great, and he's good at it, but it's kind of funny. It's still a Hendrick car on a mile and a half right now. These guys are on fire.
I like that. And that's the one I like the best out of this. There's a lot of big numbers here, but and Chase Elliott against Tyler Reddick, that's one I like the best.
I like Chase Elliott against Ryan Blaney. I just don't like the Fords. I don't think the Fords are as strong, so I like the Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney plus 130. But really fun head-to-heads this week, though, which is sometimes rare for us. Let's get into our group matchups. Group A kicks off. No joke. I'm surprised they even put him in a group, if you want the truth. Kyle Larson plus 175. William Byron 300. Christopher Bell 300. Denny Hamlin 345. This is enticement in a Group A. Look, Kyle Larson blows a tire. He doesn't win the dang race. You're giving me a group with Byron, Bell, and Hamlin. I like Denny Hamlin 345. I mean, that's a stellar number there. 345 on Denny Hamlin.
Well, all three of those guys being over 300 to me, that's pretty amazing. And you're right. You're looking at Denny Hamlin,
6 top 10s last 10 races.
Well, and Denny and William Byron are two guys that have won here within the last 5 years. And granted, Kyle Larson's won 3 times here in the last 5 years. And Bell, he's going to run strong. So if you want to really go and get some value, I say go ahead and take a flyer on one of those 3 guys. I don't know which one you take.
Well, if you talk about mile and a half,
I also think Larson's going to win the race. So.
If you talk mile and a half, Bell and Denny Hamlin, 2 of the best at it right now. I mean, Coke 600 won by Christopher Bell this year. So I like both those, 300 or 345. Hard to differentiate between the two. I'm with you, but like both of those an awful lot. A lot of enticement there for, I'll jump off the William Byron head-to-head versus Kyle Larson now because I'll take William Byron at plus 300. And, yeah, I got two other drivers in it, but it's a hell of a return. Let's get to Group B, Motley. We got Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, co-favorites at 250. Chase Elliott, 285. Kyle Busch, 290. Kyle, a return to Group B. Kind of surprising there. Must be the history. But you've got one Hendrick guy against a Toyota, a Ford, and a Chevy that hasn't been running all that great.
This is my throw up the X group, I think.
You think?
It is for me because, look, first off, Blaney runs very well in Vegas. The Penske cars always run well in Vegas. Hendrick cars run well in Vegas. Elliott's had good runs, hasn't necessarily had all the great finishes in Vegas. Kyle Busch, we know what his history is at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then there's that outlier Reddick. Like, I don't know what to make right now of Reddick. And do I get the Tyler Reddick that we saw during the summer, or do I get the Tyler Reddick that I've seen since we got into the playoffs? Now, the fact that he has made it in the final 8 was really a byproduct of how many bonus points he had racked up. It's not because he's been so strong. So I just think I can make a case why all 4 of these guys could win this group and why all 4 of them would lose this group.
You bet you top of the show, Hendrick. One Hendrick car. I like it.
Okay.
Let's go.
And see, I'm going to take him in a head-to-head, so I don't really want to. I don't want to throw too many of my eggs in one basket.
Got it. Let's go to Group C. Martin Truex Jr. and Ross Chastain, your favorites at 250. Joey Logano, 285. Ty Gibbs, 290. I think the Westgate needs to adjust their vision or something here. Joey Logano, the only playoff guy, 285 with Chastain and Truex 250s. I mean, look, I get Martin Truex 9 top 10s in the last 10-mile-and-a-half races. So I can see why you would say, yeah, Martin Truex, but what have you...
Logano.
Logano.
I like Logano.
That's where I'm aiming right here. I mean, I'm looking at this going, look, it's hard to bet against Martin Truex 1.5 miles, but this is not the Martin Truex. That Martin Truex has not been.
Yeah, I agree. I just think, to me, Logano's the guy in this group right here, and the fact that he's not the favorite, he's a plus 285, makes this one of the easier choices that I have out here. I mean, granted, it could be the kiss of death, but I like Logano here.
I was given that's my lock right there is the Logano one. Let's get quick into Group D. Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, 250, Bubba Wallace, 285, Alex Bowman, 290.
One Hendrick car.
We talked about it right off the start. I mean, Alex Bowman been great here, and he's all the way down in Group D. No offense, love me some Keselowski. We know we love Chris Buescher, but Bowman,
Hendrick. That Hendrick car as a long shot. Love the Hendrick car as a long shot. I'm going Bowman.
I can't disagree with you there. Those are. There's the dog. All right, we basically caught back up. We got Group E and F coming back. Odds to win, or E and F coming back, and the manufacturer, and we're catching up. We'll see you in a minute, guys.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone. And if you're craving a taste of Italy, come experience delicious Italian cuisine and the attentive service at Don Vito's. Our culinary team starts with the freshest ingredients and transforms them into traditional favorites. And don't forget Italian desserts. Don Vito's. Savor the taste of Italy. Finally, if sushi is more your style, Join us at the popular Zenshin Asian restaurant and sushi bar, where we're serving up the freshest sashimi, nigiri, and sushi rolls. And beyond the sushi, an exciting contemporary Asian cuisine menu, plus a variety of specialty drinks, Japanese and domestic beer, wine, and sake. Balance your hunger with Zenshin.
Welcome back in, everybody. Brendan Gaughan, Jeff Motley, finishing up the final segment here on Gaughan Racing. And yes, Jerry, I am full of Spaceballs. I can keep it going. I appreciate it. But hey, Mayulo, throwing a lot of likes. Hey, everybody throw likes if you like Spaceballs, because I got Spaceballs and Flamethrower. The kiddies really love that one.
I think I'm doing this show with a Spaceball right now.
I've gone to Plaid. I went to Plaid a long time ago. Ridiculous Speed. We did a couple of these segments in Ridiculous Speed right now, by the way.
This is true. We did.
Let's get into Group E. Group E.
What is it? Fast as Xfinity Internet? Is that what
That's right. I don't get paid for that anymore, though.
No,
so now I'll make a Spaceballs joke. That when Xfinity paid me, it was fast as Xfinity Internet. Now I've gone to Plaid. Group E, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, and Daniel Suarez, all 265. Carson Hocevar, 275. Only because an homage to my buddy here that was here earlier, I'm going to jump on the Noah Gragson bandwagon. But honestly, I talked about Briscoe earlier, maybe the guy on the long shot, but Noah's probably been running the best on the mile and a half on that group.
There's a guy in that group that won me a bet last week.
Which one's that?
Carson Hocevar. He won his group. And look,
look,
I'm telling you every week, that guy's.
He is our new Chris Buescher. He is the man that is cashing tickets, and he's the dog. But this is a tight skit. 265, 275.
Well, I'm not going to touch this group, but to me, Briscoe, Hocevar are the two. I love Noah, but
I know.
Briscoe.
I got it. Listen, Noah, that was Jeff Motley saying that. Well, wait, he told me I was born in the early 1900s. Screw you, Hocevar.
Wow, you're.
I'm holding a lot of grudges today.
That makes you a centenarian or something?
Centenarian.
You'd be a centenarian if you're over 100 years old. There aren't many of those around, you know.
I'm holding a lot of grudges this show apparently. Hocevar, he has been cashing tickets. That is our new Chris Buescher, almost so to speak. He's been doing that so well. Let's get into Group F. Michael McDowell, Todd Gilligan, 260. Ryan Preece and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 275. Stenhouse Jr. being in Group F, that he's not normally down that far, Jeff. Having Ricky Stenhouse Jr. kind of makes you go,
Yeah, but
doesn't have to win.
There's a guy,
McDowell, though.
There's a guy that I mentioned how he's been running a whole lot better lately. Ryan Preece. I tell you, I like Preece here.
I like Stenhouse here. I think that Stenhouse is the guy that, and how we don't normally talk about Stenhouse except for Daytona Talladega.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that he's a guy that him and McDowell, I think they're kind of phoning in right now. I think they've kind of shut her down, so to speak. And I like that Stenhouse pick here in Group F.
I'm going Preece.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody, you can believe what you want. One of us has 96 points on the season.
I'm a Spaceball. What do I know?
Oh, you're a Spaceball, all right.
I'm not sure what that is, but.
Manufacturer prop, we got Chevy is plus 100, Toyota plus 170, Ford plus 320. Honestly, the way it should be, if you want the truth. I mean, I don't see that being incorrect.
Logano or Blaney wouldn't shock me.
Wouldn't shock me.
But I'm not going there.
Martin Truex Jr. could be Martin Truex Jr. all of a sudden and pull a Toyota win out. But I this week I'm not doing the manufacturer. I just don't.
Brendan, I got one rule for myself this week. In no way, shape, or form, in any way, am I betting against Kyle Larson.
Good point.
I'm not going to bet against him in a group. I'm not betting against him in a win or a top three, and certainly not in a manufacturer prop.
All right. Well, so speaks Jeff Motley, and that we will move on from there. Championship odds. We have been telling you people. Last week, Joey Logano was, I think, 30 or 40 to 1, and I said, "Oh my God, jump on Joey Logano." He is 14 to 1. Chase Elliott is 12 to 1.
Well, we knew those odds were going to change as soon as we only had 8 guys left. And here's the deal. Win one of these next 3 races, and you're in the final 4, and your odds are 400 plus 400.
Yeah. Well, and right now, Kyle Larson's 200, Christopher Bell's 400. So, I mean, they're the odds-on favorites. You can see who the odds makers like. But, man, I wish you would have listened to me last week and picked some of those guys that had those long numbers. Alex Bowman was even longer, and there's some people that probably had a future taken on Alex Bowman that were really bummed out after that race.
Yeah.
Let's get to what we did last week, Mr. Motley, because I got to let you have your due. I have been allowed to brag all season long. I got to give Motley his due. 4 out of 5 for Mr. Motley.
4 out of 5, and the one I missed, the guy finished second. I had the Toyota. So, yes, I got the Elliott over Reddick, Christopher Bell in Group C, which third time in a row we did not put the
jinx on somebody.
It's
the Gaughan Racin. It's the Gaughan Racin. Like it's positive
right.
now.
All three of us took Christopher Bell in Group C, but Ryan Blaney Group D, and I mentioned Carson Hocevar Group F, and he won it going away. It wasn't even really that close. I had Toyota to win the manufacturer prop because I love that big plus 330. Christopher Bell did come in second, but it wasn't a close second. So it's not like I was like, man, if he could have just passed Larson, because he wasn't passing Larson.
It lets you pass the pit crew on the season. Doesn't get you close to me, but 23 total
well, you
points.
Got 2 right. So
yes, I did.
You are, and I apologize. I missed 0.2 of a
That's
point.
Right. Hey, I had to fact check the commissioner again this week. He tried to short me.
First time this year.
I don't know if it's first time, but it definitely not first time ever. I did get Elliott versus Reddick and the non-Gaughan Racin jinx.
I can leave one loose lug nut every once in a while.
There's only one in Cup now. And Bell is Group C. I got that. I'm at plus 96 units. I've got 4 more races left, Jeff, to hit my Mendoza line, and I am right there. And the pit crew, they listen. Sometimes you just got to make sure you just stop the bleeding. They won the Bell Group C. They only lost 0.65 a unit. They're still 4. All 3 of us right now, guys. Come on, double digits for everybody. 14 units for the pit crew, 23 units for you, and 96 units for me. That's pretty stellar when you're talking a group of people giving you odds to bet.
You ain't going
to find a show like that.
No, you're exactly right. And look, I'm actually very fortunate now that I'm just happy that even if I miss all 20 picks the rest of the year,
you're still positive for the season.
Positive for the season.
So let's get to our picks. We're going to get to them early because we got a lot of stuff we want to talk about to end this show. And we're going to kick off, which once again in the trunk, not Jeff Motley. Finally. The pit crew returns to the first pick category, and the pit crew is heavy in the group matchups this week. This is, to me, is screaming a lot of Ann in this one, if you want the truth. William Byron, Group A at plus 300. I cannot knock that. Even though you're betting against Kyle Larson, I cannot knock it. I like that number. I said at the beginning. Tyler Reddick, Group B. Joey Logano, Group C. Brad Keselowski, Group D. And the pit crew going with the homage to our guest, Noah Gragson, Group E.
It was very nice of our pit crew. So I'm going to agree with the pit crew on 1. We're going to go head-to-head on 2.
All right.
So I think I made it pretty clear when we were talking about driver head-to-heads that I'm going Chase Elliott head-to-head against Tyler Reddick. Brendan, what's the most important thing? Getting it right?
Cash a ticket. You got to be right.
Group A. I don't care if he's plus 175. Kyle Larson, Group A. Group C, I'm agreeing on Joey Logano. And I'm going with Alex Bowman in Group D. And I'm going to ride that little Ryan Preece train in Group F.
All right. Well, I still have a hole in mind, but I'm going to start off. I'm going to be heavy groups this weekend also. I'm going to kick off Denny Hamlin, Group A. You know why? You're giving me Denny Hamlin at a plus 345 with 3 other people. Now, Denny, I've made a lot of comments about your as the collar gets a little tight in the playoffs as the season goes on. Don't do it this week. I mean,
Vegas is a good track for him.
345. That's a hell of a return in Group A. I got it. Even though I'm betting against Kyle Larson, I'm getting it. I'm going to take Chase Elliott versus Ryan Blaney though in the matchups. Plus 130. I like that one. It's easy one to pick for me. I am going Logano also. I think all of us. You picked Logano also.
Yeah, so that's our all 3.
That's our all 3. That was my lock. Group C.
You said Logano was a lock last week. I want to point out.
And I think you. Oh, did you win that one? Win that one for me? Thought he did. And then I've got Bowman in Group D. I'm going to go head to head up with our pit crew there. I like that.
Oh, that's. Oh yeah, and you're agreeing with me again.
Did you do Bowman too?
You're agreeing with the guy that got 4. Right?
Apparently, I'm going to lose a couple points this week. No, and then I'm going to go head to head with you though in Group F. I am going to go with the Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in Group F, so we can have a little fun with our old favorite group there of Group F. So that is our picks for this week, Mr. Motley. Oh my goodness, we left ourselves a few minutes. We have quite a few things happening this week. For the SiriusXM listeners, of course, this show will air probably around the time the Brennan Gaughan
Celebrity Blackjack
tournament's going on. But Once again, I didn't name that one either. I just want that pointed out.
In fact, I might have had something to do with the name being put on it, but I might plead guilty to that one. But no one fought me on it, and you didn't get a vote.
He's not lying, at least. I mean,
I didn't even get an NIL permission to use your name on it either. But
yeah, you don't.
I wasn't concerned about you suing me.
We don't normally have to ask permission for those sorts of things between me and you. If you guys could understand the text messages that go back and forth between us during these Vegas weeks, this is I do actually. This is one of my weeks from hell, and I don't get behind the wheel anymore to be able to.
But you also love it.
Listen,
you love getting everybody coming in here to the South Point.
We just had a press conference, Jeff, with PBR bull riders, NASCAR drivers, and professional golfers in the South Point. That is all that's going on in Vegas this weekend. What a huge weekend. PBR is at the South Point for tonight and tomorrow night. Last chance qualifier.
The elimination, on
the elimination for the team's event. Austin Dillon, the Carolina, what does he call the Carolina team?
Cowboys.
The Carolina Cowboys. Second seed going into the big PBR team finals.
So Austin's going to be on the shuttle between the Speedway and T-Mobile Arena all weekend long.
And he will not be at the Brendan Gaughan Celebrity Blackjack Tournament because he is busy. So we got a lot of stuff. We got the Blackjack Tournament Friday night. Jeff, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on at Speedway. We got the Xfinity race Saturday evening.
Xfinity race is Saturday. We actually got the Cars Tour is going to be running Friday night over at the Bull Ring.
Kevin Harvick racing.
Doing this. Kevin Harvick and Keelan.
Also, really?
Keelan's going to be racing as well. And Sunday's going to be a really big day, South Point 400. I mean, not only is it a playoff race, but all the stuff that's going to go on. It's Navy Week here in Las Vegas as well, and there's going to be a big Navy involvement. We got UNLV football coach Barry Odom's going to be out, Grand Marshal.
Dude, how about we got Rey Mysterio dropping the flag.
Braun Strowman are honorary starters, and Katie Grimes is going to drive the pace car, a silver medalist. We have got a Rear Admiral from the Navy, the commander of the Pacific Fleet, coming out to the race. We also have the Surgeon General of the Air Force is going to be out for the race. So we have people that maybe you don't know them as household names, but they're pretty important people in keeping us all safe. So it's just a great weekend. We always look forward to it. And I know we only got a little bit left here, but we could not do it without the South Point, with you and your family. And I know we like to pick on each other and everything, but but we're also buddies at the end of the day. And
listen,
and we work
without
together,
the Speedway being here. Noah said it right at the top of the show. What made a young man who was born in 1998 and this town's such a hotbed? Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We got drag racing coming up in 2 weeks at the Speedway after this. Tony Stewart will be in that one. So super awesome.
And Brittany Force is coming to the NASCAR race.
And Brittany Force coming to the NASCAR. She have the baby yet?
No, Brittany's not.
That was Tony's. We're getting the countdown. Yeah. All right, fine. She counted right. Goodbye, folks. Talk to you next week.